today. And tonight, I want to expose cult traps of residence. Cult traps of residence. So basically, where a person lives, where they reside, where it's supposed to be their place of peace, where they lay their head at day and night, get rest, rejuvenate, and find themselves and can finally just get away from the world. And how the enemy doesn't care, it doesn't matter. Any place of peace, anywhere where you reside, he doesn't want any type of peace to be in your life. That's why, if anything, he bothers you the most. People the most at their most peacefulest times, doesn't matter what type of person they are, what type of drama or darkness they have in their life, he understands that everyone has that point and ending spot of peace at the end of the day, which is sleep, taking a nap. So he doesn't want you to have any peace. He wants your eyes to look super dark circle. He doesn't want you to have peace of mind. And so I'm going to expose another story of one of these things of what the enemy does in this world, one of his traps, another thing in this life that people need to know and be aware of that doesn't have, I think it has some knowledge on of it, but whatever is the main topic that people keep up with it, they distract themselves with that, but this stuff still goes on. And you'll have some people talk about this in their video stories, vlogs, testimonies. You just have to find them. They might be a little difficult to find, but it's good to be aware and know what's going on, even when there's things going on in the world that are just with flashing lights and distraction that's popular. And the main thing of just follow that. You need to just have your own thing and know who you are, even if you do still want to enjoy those things and be a part of, but still be smart and aware. That does not mean not to be smart and aware and don't have discernment. So I'm going to get into that now. So I want to talk about things I want to talk about places and territories on this earth where evil resides. It could be in plain sight, it could be in a nice, sunny, blooming area with great landscape. It can be a residence. Basically, it can be a house, it could be an apartment, it could be somewhere where you live. Just a point of just to where it's extreme. It's extreme. It doesn't, people think the house needs to look haunted and be black and be all raggedy for it to be something about it, and that's not the case. And honestly, to me, that's the most frightening thing to me, because it's always good to have discernment when you can tell there's something wrong. You can see it as clearly as day, but when it's pretty and beautiful and glossed over and it's still evil and dark, that's what gets me, because it's like I feel something. My discernment's not just fully just there yet, but there's something with this, and that's where you need to have your discernment. But it'll kick in eventually, because every human has that, because they're created by God. So you will get a plethora load of dreams and just warnings in so many ways, even if you're barely not really just tuned in or connected too close to the voice of God or the light. You'll still get telltale signs and warnings, even if you were to be a victim of it, literally, and annihilated. So here we go. I want to talk about people and individuals who move into buildings and places of residence where cults live, reside, and they owned. And these are traps that they have for people who are not a part of the cult, that come in and they practice and do stuff to them. And they won't tell you. You'll move in there. Once you're in, because you made an agreement, you signed documents, you're moving in. You and your stuff is going in. So this is one of the ways they need your agreement. So this is one of those things that's similar to like what I explain and expose when it comes to people selling their soul in Hollywood and cults and all that stuff. So that's what this video is about. So I'm going to be talking about people who move into these residences and the things that will start to happen to them, and exposing what evil people that have dealings with works of darkness, who are part of satanic cults, you name it, whatever cult they're part of, they work for the kingdom of darkness. These are the people we deal on the surface. There's many categories of darkness when it comes to kingdom of darkness. People on the surface of things, and the waters are those other things, and just so many of it that's just hidden. You have to have knowledge of and understanding of. Spiritually, you have to be a believer in this, period. You just have to be a believer. And you just have to believe that there's another world out there that exists. So if you don't believe in other stuff, it's too scary for you, please click off. For talking to the people who want to get knowledge and understand truth and what's going on and what's literally been other people's testimony too. I'm not just getting it from them, but just saying. This stuff really goes on. So there are places in this world that I do feel like people should be aware of, and it can be an apartment building, and it could be a housing place, and it could be a neighborhood. Now, why am I saying this? Because, well, for one, neighborhoods have a council. They have like, if there's complaints, something's going to go to the people who are like over that neighborhood, and complaints, and neighborhood watchers. The neighborhood has to understand. They know who the people who run that neighborhood. Now, don't get scared. I'm not talking about the apartment. Don't get all scared on me and thinking, oh, if you live in some apartment named Blueberry Hill or something, don't get scared. Watch this video. I just want people to be aware when it comes to evil residents. Residents, evil, yeah. And I'm not talking about the video game, but places like apartment buildings and housings and some neighborhoods. Now, we all know the neighborhoods with houses, that could be a great tell story for a movie, and there's lots of movies of them out there. But the housing and the apartments one is a little bit more worse because you're really close to people. It's a really close compartment, like space, like you're really close to like your neighbors. And now it's different when it comes to a house because it's still the same. People can be too friendly and always knock on your door when they give you gifts and try to look in your home and see what you're doing and just be weird. But you're in your house alone, and especially if it's big and you're always upstairs, that's just different. You're just always going to be calling the police. It doesn't matter if you call the police or not. You live in a residence and in the area and inside of a building where a cult lives in. So it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, you're just going to keep filing paperwork, loads of complaints, and nothing's going to get done. Something will happen, but it'll be like something not happening. Like they'll hear you, they'll be like, oh, but they really won't do anything about it. It's because it is a cult's residence and it's what they do. And people complain and do stuff all the time. And when it comes to spiritual stuff, guys, I told y'all can't go to the police with any of this. Doctors, people in this world, they're just going to rule you out as crazy or tell you to call a hotline number to get you some help. Everybody's not spiritual. We do live in a world where there's, when you understand this world, that people are not, it's natural. That's just natural sense. You have to go to the spiritual source, which is God, which is what I believe in, the light, to figure this stuff out. Now, people have their other ways of sorting out what they do by their spiritual practice, but that's what works for me. Because when the demons see that you hold that authority with that force, doesn't matter who you are, when you're near the cross and you have that word, a Bible, you can even be a Catholic, but if you're using that Bible, demons are going to know, okay, I'm going to back off for now. But they still going to be back. It's still a fight, though. But make them not want to come back when you get stronger in that and super strong. They ain't going to mess with you like that, really, because I already know what you're about. That's why you get so much hate. You experience negative vibes and stuff from people because the negativity that's in them, they don't like it. They already know who you is. They see you wearing that in the spiritual realm on your chest as a badge. They see that on you like, okay, that one ain't nothing to play with. We didn't mess with that one before. We're going, because, she stay geared up. Okay? People talk about this all the time, protection. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And what will start to happen and the signs and all of that. So usually when a new person that is not a part of this community, so what you'll notice when you first start to move into these buildings, these apartments or these housing places where cults live, yes, occultic people, you'll start to notice, like, you won't feel anything. They're not going to mess with you right away, right off the bat. Things are going to be normal for a little bit, just for a minute, until they start to try you and you start to notice stuff. So if you're already a person that is a loner, you don't talk to anyone, you don't have friends, that's difficult for them because the way they're going to mess with you is going to be like, okay, we have one that keeps to themselves, they don't really talk to anyone. So if we do start to mess with them, this is a person who could possibly see and clearly know what's going on, because when we do start to mess with them, usually the ones who have friends and have people that come into their life and visit them and they go out to lunch with, and we know who they are, who they know, we keep up with them. When we start messing with them, they're going to, what are they going to do? What do people do when they go through things? They have lunch with their friends. They go out with them and tell them what's going on, and they're going through it and it's getting worse. Their mental state, and they just want to be alone now. They don't want to talk to anyone anymore. They're not feeling good. Their friends haven't heard from them in a while, and they feel like they have to clear their mind. Where it's different from a person that's alone and that's used to just being by themselves and just hanging there and find something to do and being strong in isolation, because that isolation could be a good thing, because you could be working on yourself when you're alone. But they just don't have any friends. They've always been that way. So it's different when it comes to this person who barely, like, it's like it confuses them. It's like, okay, they don't know anybody. Like, do they know anybody? They don't really talk to anyone. So how are we still gonna do what we do anyways? So I'm gonna get into it. So they see this, and if you're a person that keeps to yourself and you just, sit in the corner, you do your own thing, you step out your house, you do what you do. Usually, what they'll do is they'll start being nice to you. They'll come up to you and start talking to you. They'll knock on your door a lot. They'll try to get to know you. You're quiet. You're not even worrying about these people. Now, these people are tight. These are white people, black people. In the real world, these type of people don't even get along like that. Like, these people, like, are family. Like, they have a real connection, like a bond. Like, they tight. Like, they hang out. Like Big Joe over there, like big black dude, like he hang out with this white dude and they like bros. They tight. So it's all different varieties and races of these community of people that are in your apartment building, in your housing, in your neighborhood, and they all tight. They all like each other. Like, wow, this is what America should be. Everybody getting along. But wait a minute, I'm getting there. So, they all hanging out, cooking with each other. They all friends, buddy, chilling, be outside, talking, smoking. They hang out, they talk with each other and all that, right? But they notice you're not really like that. You keep to yourself, and they see that, and they're like, oh, okay, she don't really talk to anybody, like what it is, like, she don't really, they just keep to themselves. And a lot of people who are quiet, people who try to figure them out, they don't really like that. Kind of want to poke the bear and at least say something. It's just, you're making them nervous by just really not engaging. So you make the enemy nervous. He be trying to figure you out, because what he don't know frightens him. And so you just being you, that's just who you are. But why does that bother them so much? Okay, here we go. So you'll start seeing signs of them being everywhere. You'll start you'll start feeling like people are just intentionally, like, intensely, I meant, like, watching you. Like, watching everywhere you go. Like, minute you step out of your house, you go to the mailbox, you take out your trash, you just feel an intense feeling of being, like, watched and followed. And this is like the natural part of it, like, but you can feel it, like, this is not who you are. Like, you don't just be feeling weird like this on any normal days. Like, this is just a different phenomenon you just start to experience in your life as soon as you move into this building. Like, these people are just watching me. They're just watching me, and they are. You're not crazy, but you don't know that yet. This is just day one. This is just day one of this episode. Okay, so it'll go away for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It'll go away, things will be back to normal. You doing your little regular day-to-day thing. It'll be a week, a month, it'll be for a little minute, And then you'll start seeing weird things within the people. You'll start feeling, the vibe is changing, it's just kind of weird. It's just strange. But you'll just start, like, weird stuff will just start to happen, but it's just like, it will be like a brush off, because it ain't really nothing. It ain't just too intense yet. And then you'll start to be curious and want to get to know the people, and you'll start watching them, like how you feel like they're watching you. You'll start seeing how they move and what they do and who they know and what they do when they walk out of their house and how they interact with each other. And if you're just tripping, but everybody seems to be normal and just, how people move when, you live around them. Like, they just go to the laundry, they cook, they talk to each other. That's how it's supposed to be. But they're acting. They're acting. They're just doing that because they just have to put on that facade because they know you looking. Like they know. They know that they doing that just in case you is paying attention, and they have to do that. Whether you paying attention or not, they just have to do that. But they're doing it because of you. And they're in the real world, and they can't really just cults try to do stuff in the sneaky, silent, like try to blend in the bowl, like be natural like way and not like give away. But man, listen. Let me keep going. So then you'll start to experience things spiritually now. So in a weird way, not in a good way. So some of your items will start to disappear and reappear, or they'll just disappear and never come back. You will start being attacked in your body, your mental, your mind. You'll hear a lot of ringing in your ears. You'll be having a lot of weird like experience. Like, did I just see something out of the corner of my eye? You'll start having a little weird, strange, like paranormal like activity. You'll start smelling weird, strange smells that people say they experience when they're under like spiritual attacks. Like this is all types of varieties of weird smells when something bad or not of good presence comes around, and we can name the plethora of smells. It can be smells of probably ammonia, sulfur, just not good smells, just things in the spirit that aren't good. They don't smell good. They're not pure, they're not clean, they're not holy, so they don't have a good smell to them. It might smell like witchcraft, it might smell like death, it might smell like rotten eggs, it might smell like something that's just lingering around, something's here, something's present. But then it'll go away, then it'll stop. Another thing you will start to see manifesting in the natural realm is people that you'll start to see weird things happening to them as backfire around. People understand this in the occult. They're fine with it just as long as it does take them out because they know what they do is dangerous anyway. And there's people don't really survive in this, and they just that's when they start backing off, or one of them just check out. I'll just say one of them, but a lot of them are still in the game because they work to do. This is what they do. They ain't going nowhere. So you'll start seeing manifestations of people with mental problems, being sick, people, the ambulance having to come around because something happened to one of the neighbors. Now, some of the people that live in your building, your apartment, with you, or your housing little spot, little facility place with you, that's some of them are just like you. Some of them, but majority of the people that are there, that they are the cult. So you'll start seeing people get sick a lot. You'll start hearing people's conversations. You'll start seeing some people acting paranoid too, always talking about like, ooh, there's something in the air. And, yeah, ooh, the devil, he just be at work. And you just hearing this as you pass by people. Like you just hear their conversations as they're on the phone or they're talking with someone like, ooh, that's a sign. That's a sign. You'll hear people start saying this stuff. You'll hear people's conversations like, okay, that's another sign. You'll start seeing that people get sick, and you'll catch that and be like, oh, what's she talking about? Because you having a good day, you ain't experiencing that at this point right now, but you seeing how, because other people can feel things too, and you'll hear them start to talk about that on the phone or with someone they're standing next to. You'll start hearing their conversations about what's going on where they live at too, the same place where you're at, because you've been going through some stuff as well. But this is a new spot, so that hasn't happened to you in like 2 weeks or a month, but you still, okay. So now what'll start to happen is you will start to have dreams of people following you, you'll start having dreams of people following you, of witches following you, people taking pictures of you, you running from something, cats, black cats, just like dark, like being like very eerie, like witchcrafty, like following, weird, stalking, like monitoring, like dreams. And you'll be having them a lot, or it may not be a lot, but you had that dream, and then you'll come back to reality, and then to the natural state of just waking up, and because the spiritual spidey senses, that only lasts for like a good minute. You know what I'm saying? Only for like, especially if like if you like fast and you like pray a lot and you really just don't eat for a while, that spiritual discernment could be on probably for like days, but like, you'll get that. You'll start noticing when you go certain places naturally. I'm speaking like naturally. You'll have like birds, black birds following you. So you know that this is from people who are practicing the dark arts. You'll have flies following you. You'll have cats, even cats. You'll have cats following you, or ending up places where it'll just be something. Now usually when you see a cat, you don't really just think about it. It don't have to be a black cat either, but there's just something weird with this cat, or there's just birds coming out of nowhere. It'll be like something off a horror movie, like the vibe, just with the vibe of just like that bird, just like, and you don't want to get paranoid or too scared. You'll just brush off and just think like, okay, that's just a bird, that's nothing, I'm tripping. But that's, if you feeling your gut and something's telling you like, no, that's them. That's them. That's what they use. They use birds, flies, cats, and use monitoring spirits. So you'll start experiencing the intensity of them watching you, following you, with monitoring spirits, because they're not omnipresent, and they use people too. Another thing that they do, they understand your get arounds of transportation and means of how you get around. So if you have a car, they will follow you. They'll keep up with your routine. They know what time you leave, go to work. They know what time, even if you don't have a job, especially because they don't know probably what you're thinking or when you're gonna leave. They have to keep up with you. I don't know. They do know how to watch people, monitor people through their devices, even spiritually. So this all goes hand in hand. They'll start playing with you naturally too. Like you'll see stuff like, oh, someone hacked into your email. They're messing with your Wi-Fi. They're watching you through your TV. It just seems like they know, they're just intensely watching you. So whenever you leave or planning to do something, it's like, here they come. It's like every time I just seem to just be going this way. I always run to the same person, or this, here they come, So if you have a car, they will follow you in the car. If you walk, they will use people with dogs that they walk. They would, I don't know, because, people have different pace on how they walk. When you walk, you can duck and dodge, you can go through alleys, you can cut routes and all that. So it probably will be a little bit difficult for them to keep up with you, because being in a car and following someone on foot, they have to stop at red lights and all that, whatever. But, who knows where you're going, but they want to know. They want to know because they're watching, because of what they're doing to you. So they'll have a dog. They will use bikes to follow the ones who don't have transportation, like a car. They will use that. That's what they will do. If you catch the bus, they'll get on the bus. If you walk, they will follow you. That's what they do. And when you get home from doing that, it'll be weird because they have a tendency of still want to be present, and knowing and just watching you. And they want to, like, they know, like, they're in their mind. They're like, I know she knows, because I know we've been doing this, and I don't know if she's just acting real good. He's acting real good, natural, not letting it bother him. But and then it's like, man, you've been feeling this for the past week, for a good minute, just unease, uncomfortable spiritually, and you don't really have time for weirdos. But when you start, like, when you want to get home, you just want to get in your house and get through your door. But they'll make it known. They'll always just be present, just standing in a random spot, or just watching, or just sitting down somewhere. It'll be a lot of them. It'll be some of them. They'll be chilling, talking, or a couple of them. It could be just one or two. I don't know how many. Oh, mind you, it'll be a lot of them, because you live in that same building with you're in that neighborhood. They'll be outside hanging around. They'll be, acting like they're doing something, or just going to the trash of their car, or just sitting there, just it's clear as day if they're just sitting there and standing there just watching and just whatever. But that's the signs you'll start to see with them. That is. And then when you start praying to God, or whether you do or not, something's going to let you know that. Then you'll start having dreams of people in robes. You'll start having dreams with people in robes, in red robes and black robes, doing rituals. You'll start having dreams of the elements of the earth, the things that they use, like the moon. You might see in dreams some of the faces being revealed of who some of them are. Some of them, but it's a lot of them. But just some of them, but it's still a lot of them. And Yes, you are dealing with a cult. Are on a residence. You are on a resident evil property. That of these cult people who like to practice stuff on people, victimize them, and literally take their life and destroy them. And if they're not strong enough, if they're not powerful enough, make their lives a living, hell, mess with them spiritually, stalk them, make this is what cults and people who are in dark practices, they like to do this stuff. They're your real psychos. They do this for fun. This is what they do. And they still live their lives regularly, still watch TV, still cook and do regular things, but this is what they do. This is what they do. This is what they practice. And they target people. They do. Like some CIA stuff, like the government. But this is like deep. This is on the spiritual side of it. These people are in disguise and they just look like everyday regular people. They ain't wearing no crystals. They look like a regular person. These people got jobs. They are like regular people, but they're not dumb. It's when you look at them, they don't look unintelligent. They're very intelligent. They're very smart. They're going to work. They seem to be stable. They seem to be good and intact. But what they do to people and what they inflict on people, they love to do that. They love to see that. They love seeing that. They love because it's them. They know they're just they like, I love this. I'm never getting out of this. This is what I do. Until they get put into their place and run into the wrong one. They usually don't stop. They usually just, if they can't mess with that one no more, they'll just go on to the next one and just stay in their spot. A lot of them be wanting to get out, but they can't leave. The people they probably be, like, hey, they have meetups and they probably don't even be wanting to do it no more. Like these people actually do meet up and go to places. They can't do it like they can do it like where you live at with them, but it'll have to be like in a disguised way of like going to the trash, maybe talking to them outside like a neighbor and just kicking it or whatever. But they have to be careful how they move because around where you live, them being your neighbor and them being in the same vicinity as you, because they know you're around and you're watching. And there's other people like you that's going through the same thing too, that they're doing this and they know that they're watching, they're probably suspecting, and they know this. So you'll start to have dreams about these evil, occult, dark practicing people who are doing this to people, new fresh meat, blood, as they would probably call it, moving into the building. And this is what we like. That's what they like to do. They like doing stuff like that to newbies because they all know who are part of it. They all know who is down with them and who ain't. And they know like, oh, this person, that's why they're curious about that. That's the first thing they did when you moved in here. They was hacking into your stuff. They was knocking on your door. They was doing all types. They was trying to get to know you, but you stayed to yourself. You was like, man, I don't want to talk to this person, bro. Okay, I'm gonna be nice and whatever. Like, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? And that's when you start understanding and knowing this stuff. You're like, man, I'm not accepting no gifts. I ain't opening the door for nobody. Listen, I'm gonna just be how I was, like how I first came in. Like, everybody just do y'all thing, whatever. I'm not gonna let this faze me. So you'll start having those things happen. You'll start having knocks on the door. You'll start having a lot of ringing in your ears. And yeah, you'll have knocks on the door and you'll open the door sometime and nobody will be there. So you'll be having a lot of spiritual, like, strange stuff happen. You'll see, I've heard a lot of people say things that has happened to them when it's come to people teleporting in their houses. What else have I heard? Seeing demonic beings, like watch them behind the wall, just spying on them, like just intense monitoring spirit spying in the spiritual realm and in the natural realm, because there's dark, evil, occult people that are behind this, and you're on their property. You live amongst them. You're on their territory, but you just moved in. You just need somewhere to stay because you was in a tough spot, so you need somewhere to move, or you wanted to be on your own. You wanted to. You're young, your first apartment new, and you're like, oh, this is good. The rent's cheap, or however much the rent is, or if just, if you're just like, oh, I just want my own space. So they understand that, they know. But, if things get too bad or they start, you just know eventually when you move into something like this, not something, and you understand that, you have the knowledge and discernment understanding that that's what you're dealing with, that's not somewhere you want to stay at for the longest point in time anyway. So you're definitely, for sure, when you start to awaken to this stuff and know about this, then you'll want to, that you're going to be moving sooner or later. And then God might start talking to you. He might talk to you. The way God speaks to you, yeah, he speaks to you through dreams. So he's showing you this. He knows the enemy's watching, listening, looking, and it's just a heavy, intense energy of him just wanting it, especially when God's trying to talk to you and get close to you. He really wants to just know. But the enemy ain't always around like the whole time. But God will speak to you through dreams and he'll whisper a still small voice to where he can't even hear it. It's only for you. He will use people, especially when you're off that property, that vicinity of that place. You'll start, and if you do have people in your life, he'll use your friends or your family to they'll have dreams and he'll tell you, but they'll all types of stuff like, wow, I can't believe God's trying to, he gave you that to tell me, and stuff like that. So yep. Another thing that they will do is attack you spiritually. This is why when you're being attacked by an enemy, you have to stay strong. You can't, like, because they'll that's what they do. They want you to be depressed. They want you to feel paranoid, a heightened sense of anxiety, afraid to go outside and do the normal things that you do. That means it's working. If you allow them to do that and you just stay put, you're just gonna be inside that spot you're in, which is you have to get out. You gotta just get out, get some sunlight, go for a walk. You still have to like move and just pray on top of that too, and anoint your home and all of that. Another thing they'll do too is block your communication. So people are trying to call you. They haven't heard from you. So they're like, what's going on with him? What's going on with her? Like, I've been trying to call her. So it seems these spirits, these things that they're attacking you with, they're affecting your communication. They're affecting how you communicate with people through your cell phone. So people would be trying to call you and reach out to you and stuff. Like, is she okay? Is he okay? You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're trying to harm you. If they're trying to like hurt your life and really take you out with this dark, evil energy that they're using to attack you and really take you out and hurt you, they'll block your communication. As if you're a person, you're still alive, but it's almost like you're not here anymore. Just like when people die and people try to communicate with their loved ones through using psychics and all of that, and try to talk to them to the other side. They're like sending the spirit of, they're using witchcraft as a form of death, sending it towards you. That's why you're having all these bad smells. Your food will start to rot. You'll start having bad dreams, bad nightmares, and people will be trying to call you and they can't reach you. You like your phone, like the text messages don't come through, or the phone calls don't come through the text message until you like get out of the vicinity of that area that you're in. Another sign that you'll see when you live in places like this is that dealing with technology and stuff getting through, like payments and cell phone calls and text messages, a lot of those will be malfunctioning. So you wouldn't receive messages or phone calls, or they hinder this, like opportunities, jobs. They'll do this. They do this, especially when they're trying to get rid of you with using evil magic. They do this, and your food will start to rot. You'll start to have worse smells. They'll start to attack your body, your health, where you need to go to the hospital. And only prayer, guys. You survive this with God and prayer and light. That's the only way you can survive this type of intense attack. Now, as much stuff as they've been throwing at you and you're still here, oh my goodness, this person's still here alive. They're still in the right mind. They're not dead. Do they know about us? Most likely, they probably do, because God's been talking to you and revealing things to you, and he's been showing you this for a reason, because he cares about you and he loves you. He wants you to depend on him, and he's letting you know that you're somebody to him. That's why he's letting you know what's going on, where you're at. Because you belong to him. And listen, it's because you belong to him, that don't mean enemy gonna take it easy on you. You're gonna go through some stuff. You will. And even people who are not religious or in the Bible, they go through this, and God has still helped them out of that situation. They don't want anything or have anything to do with religion, but they've been in some situations like this before. All types of people have been in situations like this before. You name it. Another thing you will start to see with people in the area, in that building, who have like a spiritual belief or a practice that's not like God, you'll start to see them put salt around their door. You'll start to see that. Because they know there's something in the air. They can feel it too. Another thing you'll start to see is cats. Cats, every time you go to your house, every time you leave out, they're watching you, they're following you. They stay staked out in front of your door. Literally, they throw up. They crap in front of your door. This means spiritual signs and activity going on in your area with dealing with witchcraft and these cult people and stuff. You'll start seeing the backfire of these cult people getting hit with this stuff and being affected by this stuff. It'll start backfiring on them. God will expose them out in the open. They'll start having situations like what they were trying to do to you, making you sick. Things going on wrong in their apartment, things breaking down, like literally the doors open, people got to come in there and see what's going on. It'll start happening to them. But yeah, a whole lot of cat fights, cats being weird, following you, watching you, literally like people, like literally every time, like literally like being nosy, like nosy people. Like it's not like cats, like acting like people, like literally like, oh, you just like, it's just a cat. Don't kick the cat, don't hit the cat. People gonna look at you like, oh, she's crazy. Animal cruelty, like leave the cat alone. But you will have cats like harassing you with their eyes, like intentionally like watching you. Just that spirit that's in that cat, like monitoring spirit, like just watching you. And a lot of them aren't nice. They're mean. They don't want you touching them and approaching them, but they're watching you. They're just there to watch you. You will have like monitoring spirits, like ants, flies, like stuff breaking down in your house, drains stopping up, all types of stuff, like technology messing up, Wi-Fi, all types of stuff. The negative spiritual energy will start affect all the stuff, including you. But you do have to be strong. Don't punch the wall. But you do see a lot of those manic episodes of people who are being attacked by stuff. They get angry, they hit the wall, they slam the door, they're just yelling at the people, the manager, the people at the front desk, getting angry and mad at the neighbors, just being mean and not nice. You can't let it get to you. That means what they're doing, it's working. So you gotta stay prayed up. You can't allow the enemy to get to your emotion like that and get that energy. That's what he won't. So they'll do that. They'll even drain and siphon your energy. They will do that. You will feel drained. You'll have heart palpitation problems. They'll just be messed with your health altogether. Mental, spiritual. You'll feel like you need to just pray, fast, or some people, what they'll do is spiritual cleanses that, whatever. But mine's is the light, is the Bible, is God. What's going on? Talk to me. Even while I'm going through this right now and mentally struggling, it hurts. Ow, like what's happening? Here, while I'm going through this pain, I feel like I just want to throw something. Let me talk to you right quick. That'll do it. But you're still gonna go through it today and tomorrow, and just for a minute, just hang on. So that will start to happen, and it can get to an intense level to where as they're trying to hurt you and attack you, they're also doing it to people you know, like your family and your friends. So if something was to happen to you, or even if it didn't, while you're trying to tell other people this, they're attacking you. People that you know, your family, they think that you're crazy. So it's best when you're going through this, just keep it to yourself. Because a lot of times people are going through stuff, they want somebody to talk to. They want a shoulder to lean on. They want someone to be understanding. And that's what they're going to mess with. They know you're going to want to run to people and someone to talk to help. And no, you're in this ring, you're in this fight. It's just you. You're going through this trial. You're going through this. This is what's happening. And that they're going to be trying to do stuff to those people too. They're going to try to harm them. You'll see stuff start to happen to them too. Hopefully they don't get hurt, but you'll hear your friends or people in your family getting into like car accidents, just little random strange things. You'll see like that spiritual warfare take place like in your family, like little stuff happen. You're just like, oh yeah, this is the working of the enemies. He's trying as well. As much as he's trying me, he's trying the people that I know as well too. It's just a shaking going on. It's a shaking. And I just got to stay there and strong. So this is what the enemy's minions and agents, this is what they do. This is what they do. This is what they do. They do what the enemy do to a lot of people who are Christian in their faith. You ain't even got to be a Christian. It's just like people who become a victim to murderers that are out here that's roaming the street right now in Houston, like just random victim. And you just got to make sure you stay aware, eyes peeled, some type of safety protection, and not out and around at a certain time, just doing certain things, and just mind open and just awake and just discern all that. You'll start hearing voices. So when you're sleeping, you'll be experiencing that too. Like it'll be like hearing somebody calling your name or a voice scream at you. It don't even have to sound like a nice, soft little girl trying to mess you. You sound like an evil, raging, angry demon that just yelled at you, and you just like, who yelled at me like that behind my head? Like, it's time to start rebuking in the name of Jesus, going off and opening your door and saying, get out. And you know, the enemy, the powers of darkness is mad. Like, I'm trying to destroy you. I'm trying to freak you out. We're all around you. Like, they hate that you're being strong. They hate this. Like, we try to hurt your life, the people around you, and you are still like, what's going on? You ain't been complaining nobody. Just keep to yourself. You just, they wasn't expecting that. They want to see somebody running in the streets going crazy. They want to see you going off and complaining that your refrigerator broke. They want to see this working on your emotions. They want to see you. They want to see this. This is what they want to see so bad. And you just seem to just be taking it like a champ. Like, you taking all these punches and blows and you falling out, you feeling it. It's irritating you. It's affecting you. But you're not just going off to that full capacity max of just outrage, just losing your mind. Like, you're just there. For some reason, you're there. You know why? Most time, people who that are still there, that goes through this, they have God on their side. They have God on their side. Unlike some people, they'll just rage and just go off at the mouth and still be strong. But, just let your actions and let your suffering just do all the talking and still stand. And that's really going to confuse them and be like, what in the world? I hate this. We got to move on to the next one. I can't deal with this one no more. Like, I can't. Then, who knows? Then, that season point in time of your life may be over. You may want to move out then, and you might not see it no more. But always keep your eyes peeled and aware and things like that. Still, never just be completely just at rest with and just not on the lookout for things like that, because you already know what you've been through and what you've experienced when it's come to things like that. And you being on evil resonance and in that building, and just you could be in the midst of evil and darkness and then not touch you. So you're good. You're good. You're good. They did not overcome you. You're good. So that's what this video was about. Moving into places of evil residents where cults live, that they own. Everyone around you are literally the main character in this horror movie. That stuff is real. And I'm not saying where everyone lives, whatever neighborhood or housing or apartment you live in, that's what's going on. Because no, there ain't nobody. You would have picked up on that. Because one thing about certain people, they pick up on bull crap. They know people too well. If anything's weird going on, they know. And people wouldn't even just have time to be dealing with that all the time. They'll just move out or just, I don't know. But you smart, just keep your peace. But yes, there are places in this world, all over the world, in America, where there's places where cults do reside. They do reside in that particular apartment building, housing area, or neighborhood. And that is the signs and symptoms and things, naturally and spiritually, that a person will go through and experience spiritually, naturally, mentally, all that, of the enemy trying to hurt your life. And you can't let fear and anxiety and that stuff throw you down, and you just stay strong and be who you were, like how you walked in, and when you leave out, or if you still stay there. You know what I'm saying? But I would say if anyone's dealing with this, don't stay there for too long. Definitely just let that be, now, because that's been revealed to you. Like, you probably didn't even know you were going to go through that, just because you just want to just live here. You just want to, this apartment could have been your spot for the next 5 years and you really love it. But a place like that, you don't want to reside there for too long. You definitely want to get your stuff and go. Especially, but even if you can't at the moment, just, be there, pray, still stay strong and aware, do what you do, be a soldier and a warrior in God. Y'all stay blessed, peace, and discerned.